All loving occupants of your house something to do? Here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ Fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Exclude shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18+. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of West Ham United against Manchester United from the London Stadium. I'm your host, Russell Hargreaves, and alongside me is the former Aston Villa and England striker Gabby Agbonlahor, and this is Premier League Live. Very, very special sight and sound around us, which is fans back at a Premier League venue. 2,000 of them dotted around the two lower halves of the main stands here at the former Olympic Stadium. 60,000 seats around us, and 2,000 of them at last filled, and it really is, as I say, a very special feeling and an honour to be part of it all here on Premier League Live and to bring it to everybody around the world. Players just about to make their way out into the middle, and of course the bubbles, as we always have here at West Ham, just flitting and easing their way around this magnificent venue as well, just to bring that feeling, that atmosphere, that anticipation, make it all the more apparent. So the team news, we'll start with West Ham, looking for 4 straight wins, remember, in the top tier. They could go third with yet another win. David Moyes makes one change to the team that beat Aston Villa 2-1. Sebastian Haller starts up front. Mikel Antonio back out with another hamstring problem. So Haller back in, leading the line up top with Jared Bowen and Pablo Fornals either side of him in a 3-4-3 formation with Lucas Fabianski in goal, Angelo Bonner, Fabian Balbuena and Aaron Cresswell at the back, and across the middle the wing backs, which are Artur Masuaku and Vladimir Kufal, Thomas Souček and Declan Rice, the captain in the engine room. On the bench, Darren Randolph, Said Benrahma, Manuel Lanzini, Robert Snodgrass, Mark Noble, Issa Diop and Ben Johnson. As for Manchester United, 5 changes to the team that was 2 down and won 3-2 at Southampton. That was for a third consecutive Premier League win of their own. They've since, of course, lost to PSG in the Champions League in midweek. Dean Henderson returns in goal with David De Gea absent. Missed the second half against Saints, came back in midweek but drops out again. As all the players, by the way, pay their traditional pre-match homage to Black Lives Matter and take their knee as we prepare for kick-off. Also into the United team are Paul Pogba, Edinson Cavani, Anthony Martial and Scott McTominay. Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes and Nemanja Matic dropped down to the bench. No De Gea and no Fred, who was sent off on Wednesday night in that defeat to the Parisians. So it's Henderson in goal, back 4 of Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire the skipper and Tellez, McTominay and Pogba behind Van den Beek, Martial and Greenwood supporting Cavani in a 4-2-3-1 formation. And as Pogba pushes forward, as Gabby Agbonlahor told us, that could also easily become a 4-1-4-1 at various stages during the game. West Ham kicking from left to right in the first half from our vantage point here in Premier League Live. That's in their traditional claret and blue tops with white shorts and white socks. And United right to left in their change kit, which is black and white striped tops, black shorts, black socks with a little bit of white trim. Jared Bowen with an early delivery. First chance for West Ham down this near side. And it took a deflection reaction from Wan-Bissaka to hack that one to safety. West Ham pumped the ball into the box again. Bowen is there once more. Edge of the penalty area, left-footed curling effort, takes a deflection, safe from Henderson to deny. I think it was Fornals who was falling about 4 yards out. Henderson had to spread and make himself big. Again the ball rebounds as far as Bowen once more. Curling effort this time is high and wide. 3 chances, Gabby, in a row for West Ham inside the first minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's a perfect start for West Ham. It's how David Moyes would have wanted them to start the game, on the attack. And Bowen, for me, he's been outstanding this season, and he's starting off all the chances and getting shots off early doors. So it's a great start from West Ham, and Manchester United are lucky to get away one here.
And Dean Henderson, it wasn't an amazing save, but he did well, didn't he, to react the youngster and make himself big and snaffle out the middle chance for Fornals.
Yeah, and you need that. You know, he's not made many starts at Manchester United.
First one in the league.
Yeah, if he can have a couple of good saves, and you'll get him confident into the game, and he knows this is his chance now. If he can have the game of his life today, there's no reason why he can't keep De Gea out of the team.
I completely agree with you. If any of our listeners are unaware, of course, David De Gea is the Spain #1, and many think still one of the world's best goalkeepers, but has been struggling often for form, consistency, commanding his box, you name it. Dean Henderson in the England squad, outstanding on loan at Sheffield United the last couple of seasons, back at his parent club, hoping to displace De Gea. And now with the Spaniard out, having picked up, as we understand it, the recurrence of the knock that saw him go off at half-time against Southampton, this is the chance, as Gabby rightly says, for Henderson, who's, 23 and a half, very young for a keeper. This is a good opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, and you just want to be at Manchester United and play, and he knows his position in the England squad. He's not guaranteed if he's not playing football. He needs to play games, so maybe he would have been looking at a loan in January.
It's been mooted again, hasn't it?
But now if he can get, a game like this now, get a good performance and try and stay in the side, it's good for him for international football as well.
And good in the sense that if he's probably sort of number 2.5 alongside Nick Pope fighting Jordan Pickford, were he to become the Man United number 1 and do okay, that is not going to hurt his chances of becoming England's number 1 at all, is it?
Exactly, and everyone's been giving Pickford a bit of stick this season, so he knows, Henderson, that number 1 for England is not guaranteed at the moment because Pickford's been on and off with his form. So like I said, if he can just try and get some games, get a run of games in the team for Manchester United, and I mean, if he can keep De Gea out of the team for the rest of the season, then I think he might even be closer to be number 1 for England.
We shall wait and see. Andre Mariner, by the way, is your referee at the London Stadium this evening. Edinson Cavani, was he rugby tackled or not? I'm not entirely sure. Fabian Balbuena with a fairly stout challenge on the Uruguayan, and in the end the referee deciding not to penalise West Ham. The ball is moved downfield. Did you see much in that tackle on Cavani?
No, there's nothing. Just some good defending there from the centre half. But I'm really excited to see Van der Beek today, because there's been a lot of talk that he hasn't been playing football, he hasn't got a chance. So today is his chance. He's got to take it today, otherwise I'm sure he'll be spending a lot more time on the bench.
Well, there was a stat a couple of weeks ago, wasn't there, that Man United score the vast majority of their goals when he's on the pitch. And that itself, even if he's not necessarily directly scoring or assisting them, it was still fairly telling. And we are seeing a bit more of him now the last couple of weeks, aren't we?
Yeah, and I just want to see what sort of player he is, because we all know what Fernandes can do, we know what Pogba can do, what sort of players they are. We yet to see really what Van der Beek can do in a Manchester United shirt.
Excellent challenge from Thomas Souček, breaking up play and getting the better of Paul Pogba. That should be a very resolute head-to-head in central midfield. West Ham, though, then cheaply give the ball away, and Pogba wins it back on halfway to Scott McTominay. Overstrikes his pass, looking for Alex Telles, who's got no chance of getting there. And talking of fans being back, the first ironic jeer live of the new Premier League season.
I bet that'll feel weird for the players now, even hearing any fans in the stadium.
Felt weird to me to hear it. It was brilliant, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's been so long, hasn't it? 5 minutes gone, West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. West Ham making the vast majority of the play so far, and on the big screen here, Gabby, you look at a fairly beady-eyed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who doesn't unsurprisingly look overly happy so far.
Yeah, but I think with Solskjaer, he would have seen what happened at Southampton. He'll want his team to not concede first. He'll want them to be on the front foot and try and get the first goal in the game, because they seem to be having to come back into games rather than starting off well.
Just about kept in play. Nice skills from West Ham down the far side. Pablo Fornals, as he balled down on the edge of the penalty area, dispossessed by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the former Crystal Palace right back for Man United, with a nice interception. Fornals is back on him though, putting him under renewed pressure. Sebastian Haller goes over to help his teammate, and West Ham get it back and eventually win the throw. Weight of numbers, helping out your fellow man. That worked well for David Moyes' team.
What I liked about that then is that the fans, they're clapping West Ham players, pressing Manchester United, and we talk about is 2,000 fans going to make a difference. 100% it will, because when you're a player and you're getting clapped for pressing or doing something well for the team, it's going to lift your confidence, and that's a good sign there for the West Ham fans doing that.
Artur Masuaku, the French-born Congolese left wing back, threw it in, flicked on, looking for Haller. Slightly scrappy as the ball is pumped high into the East London night. Souček won it in the air. And well done Victor Lindelof, the Swedish centre-half for Man United. He read the danger and calmly headed it downfield. 1-2 between Pogba and McTominay, freeing Mason Greenwood. Greenwood has really struggled for form this season. Was subbed at half-time in that Southampton game for Cavani, who came on, of course, and scored twice and assisted as well. Greenwood out of the team in midweek, but gets his chance back in the Premier League, and I think most would agree he is due a good run, isn't he?
Yeah, but I feel like what happened with him at England, he's just going to want to get back to playing now. get back to scoring goals.
Which Foden's done, who was the other person involved.
So, but fair enough that he's not just going to walk into this Manchester United side anymore. Now that Cavani's come in, it's Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Cavani. They've got so many players to choose out of. Juan Mata's done well when he's played.
Yep.
So Greenwood now has got to work to keep his place in the Manchester United side.
Yeah, big signings like Dan James can't even make the squad at the moment when the strongest 18 is put out there. So certainly good competition for places. Big screen just showing a little bit of Donny van den Beek there, wearing 34. One of the last members of that incredible glut of players from the Ajax Academy to leave Ajax of Amsterdam and move on and move elsewhere. Certainly a gifted playmaker. Can he do it in the Premier League? Flashes of it so far, and as Gabby says, he needs a good run. Ball over the top. Is Bowen onside? The answer is yes. 1-on-1! Opening goal is scored by Jared Bowen, but it will not stand. Referee's assistant's flag is up. We get some live boos from the fans back in the stadium. Ball over the top. It's from Koufal. I think it's tight with probably Bowen maybe just offside. Alès certainly was, but wasn't interfering with play.
Yeah,
Naked eye, Gabby, you got that one right.
Yeah, it's offside, but well done from the assistant referee letting the play go on. And it was a great finish from Bowen, so they can take some joy out of that West Ham playing them balls in behind.
Yeah, he got it right, didn't he, the assistant ref, because had he been wrong, then the fourth official would have got in the referee's ear and said, take another look, and because play had been allowed to go on, at least a goal could have then been re-given, which we haven't always seen go right protocol-wise, have we, at all?
No, but it's glad that he actually went right there, and yes, he looked offside from Bowen, but you've got to play to the whistle now, let the play continue and see what happens when the linesman checks.
And it's then up to the defensive team not to effectively down tools and give up when they see the flag and keep trying to make the save and keep the ball out, because if it does change, then of course you get a bit of egg on your face, and again, that was a regular occurrence at one point.
But I feel like now players will be told daily by their managers, coaches, play to the whistle now. Football's changed, because you might feel like the player's offside, but there could be a chance he's not, so you have to play to the whistle and try and stop the goal.
Yeah, completely agree with you. No excuses there. You've just got to get on and try and play to the current regulations. Nearly 10 minutes gone here on Premier League Live. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. Brilliant to have that ripple of applause now after a nice stout tackle. Ball played off Mason Greenwood and out for a West Ham throw, which Aaron Creswell will take. And yeah, Gabby, I completely agree with you. Every single ooh, ah, jeer, ripple of applause, it's great, but it just also adds that motivation, doesn't it, for the players as well?
Yeah, 100%. Players want to be clapped, they want to be cheered. You know, when they do something well, like press, make a tackle, when you hear the fans on your side and cheering you, it gives you that boost, that adrenaline to go and do it again, and that's going to be a good thing for the teams, and especially the teams that are allowed fans in, it's going to be an advantage to them.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So as you mentioned before kick-off, anywhere in Tier 2, the mid-level of COVID restrictions, you can have 2,000 fans. The odd Tier 1, there aren't many, would be 4,000, and Tier 3 is none, and that is the case in the likes of Northwest, Northeast and various other parts of the country. Free kick is swung in by Cresswell, overhit, just looked like it might be dangerous for a second as it caught on the breeze. Henderson came to claim, but then let it go under pressure from Ogbonna, and it's out for a goal kick. Nearly hung up and became a problem, but just about got away with it in the end, didn't he, the youngster?
Yeah, you see things like that, and that could have easily went horribly wrong there if Ogbonna got a head on it, because Henderson totally missed the ball. So I think he'll have to stop doing that, because that's how you make mistakes, and we've seen David De Gea do that a lot. I mean, we know the stick that he gets for it.
And weirdly, just those tiny moments can make all the difference. If he had messed that one up early on, who knows where it could have gone. Talking of messing it up, we'll come back to that in a second as the ball is given away, but there's another offside flag, and Manchester United breathe a sigh of relief. Yeah, had he messed up there and had there been a goal, that 1 second might just then shake his confidence, mightn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think he'll be very, very happy that Ogbonna didn't get onto it and the ball went out of play. But looking at Manchester United, though, I think Solskjaer will be very, very angry with how his team started. They haven't even got 5 or 6 passes together. We haven't seen Cavani or Martial on the ball, and we're nearly 12, 13 minutes in.
All this talk still in the papers about Max Allegri wanting the Man United job still because he's not got a new one. Thomas Tuchel if he leaves PSG. Pochettino still seems to be doing the rounds, rightly or wrongly. Where do you think Man U are at with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the moment? I know it's a perennial question we'll never answer.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think we'll see what happens over the course of the season, but I just feel that more well-respected manager can get more out of these players, because we've seen it already here. It already looks like it's going to be a West Ham positive result, because Manchester United don't look like they're up for the game. Players that have been given a chance, like Pogba and Van der Beek, they've started the game very poorly, and it wouldn't surprise me if you see Fernandes on sooner than we think, if it continues like this.
Trouble is, though, it's a perennial age-old problem now, which Solskjaer is probably the fourth manager in a row who's now suffered this. When you think about Moyes, you think about Louis van Gaal and even Mourinho as well. It all seems to go flat for all of them a couple of years in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Maybe there's something else I need to try. Maybe give it Sam Allardyce to the end of the season. No, Solskjaer's going to be given time, I feel, at Manchester United. Whenever he gets under pressure and fans might want him gone, or pundits, he managed to keep his job, and the board at Manchester United always come out and back him, so I'm sure he'll be there for the rest of the season no matter what happens.
13 and a half gone. The voice of former Aston Villa and England striker Gabby Agbonlahor, and it's still West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 here on Premier League Live as the ball is pumped downfield. Kufal up against Anthony Martial, who's been very quiet in this game so far. First time we've mentioned the man wearing 9 for Man United, playing in a slightly wider forward role today to accommodate Edinson Cavani. Not seen a lot of the Man United attackers at all, have we?
No, I feel like as well they've started the game very poorly, and I feel like maybe it's a very cold night in London where they're not warm yet, but Solskjaer will be very frustrated with the start because they need to get better.
Another free kick awarded, going West Ham's way. Another cheer from those West Ham fans dotted around this magnificent complex. In case you missed it, by the way, earlier, we've had 2 Premier League games this match week already. Burnley 1, Everton 1, including another goal for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but a useful point for the Clarets in their battle against potential relegation. And not the best of games, but Manchester City beating another struggling side, Fulham 2-0. City up to 4th for now. Fulham staying just outside the relegation zone by a point from Burnley and West Brom, who play a little later this match weekend. And to come after we're done and dusted here, it's Chelsea versus Leeds United. A win for Chelsea would see them go back at the table until tomorrow at least. Ball over the top, at last a chance for Manchester United to counter-attack. Initially Edinson Cavani burst clear, Abby, on a very ambitious back.
We do when you're 4-0 up at the end of the game. I'm shocked to see that from Cavani. I'm sure Solskjaer will be thinking, what's he seen at the moment, because all he had to do is pass the ball properly there and he's tried to flick. So, yeah, poor start.
Ball given away then by Manchester United, and Wan-Bissaka found himself horribly exposed through none of his own doing, and he does really well there. He had 2 players, Cresswell and Masuaku, either side of him. I thought he did mightily well. The ball, though, ricochets off. Van den Beek, not a great moment for the Dutchman again. Allaire is there and has been caught. He's hoping for a very ambitious penalty up against, I think it possibly was McTominay.
I think he was pulled there, to be honest.
Yeah, it was McTominay, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like the way penalties are given now, if you look back at this, he definitely gets pulled. If we could see the replay now, he takes his touch. Yeah.
Oh, it's the first one. So I see. So from Maguire before McTominay comes in.
Yeah, so maybe it's like light, but you've seen penalties for less.
Bowen again, edge of the D. This time McTominay does mightily well. Wins the ball. Was he brought down? He was. Thomas Souček has just caught a bit of the man as well as the ball. McTominay appears to be in some pain, holding his right shin. The referee, to be fair, was well placed.
Yeah, it looks like he got the ball there, Souček, but I think he's got a bit of the man as well.
Exactly.
They can be painful as well, it looks like.
Actually, it's quite a lot of the man. Yeah, the replay. And not much ball.
Yeah, he's got a lot of the man. You look back at that as a very, very bad challenge. He's got a lot of the man first. It's very high as well.
That looked a lot worse in the slow-mo.
He'll be lucky to get away without a booking here, Souček.
Looks like he might be getting away with it, though. Yeah, I think he has.
He's got away one.
Referee goes away. McTominay hobbles back to his feet, puffs out his cheeks, grins and bears it, and Man United have got a free kick about midway inside their own half. Nearly 17 played. Premier League Live, West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. McTominay to Cavani, who doesn't try anything too extravagant and overly excessive this time. Just gives it to his compatriot, the other Uruguayan in the team these days, the left-back Alex Telles, who are only £15 million, which is a pretty decent signing, I think, for a Brazilian international with some good pedigree at the likes of Porto.
Yeah, I really like him as well, and I feel like Luke Shaw needed that competition. When you know the only real left back at a club, you know you're going to play every game no matter what. He needed that competition, and Tellez is a great player.
And Tellez, of course, then picked up a little niggle, didn't he? Now Shaw's out. At some point, both will be fit at the same time and really be fighting each other for that spot, which I guess a team like Man U, any team needs, don't they, right across the board?
Yeah, I think a manager would love to have two players for every position. That gives you 22, then you've got 3 extra to make it 25. And that's what most managers in the Premier League have got at the moment.
Wan-Bissaka's had a good game so far. He's bursting clear. Edge of the box, finds Anthony Martial. Deflected effort. A couple of yards wide in the end of Lucas Fabianski's right-hand post. It was never going to trouble the pole. At least it's a shot from Man United, and at least it's a corner.
Yeah, it's better play, and I like the way Martial has come inside. He's not stayed on the left. He's come inside with Greenwood and Van der Beek to try and affect the play, and that's what Manchester United are going to have to do to break down this strong defensively team, West Ham.
First time we've mentioned Fabianski, I think, all game, apart from when we mentioned him in the team news, to say that he watched that one trickle past and go out for a corner. Tellez with the short corner to Van den Beek, little 1-2, back to the left foot of the 27-year-old. He bent it in, looking for his compatriot Cavani, who was well shackled in the end. And West Ham worked the ball almost up to halfway before Wan-Bissaka wins it back. He pumps it over the top looking for Van den Beek. Aaron Cresswell hooks the ball over his shoulder and out of play for a throw. And that one nicks off Paul Pogba in the process. Wry smile from he. And West Ham get the throw as well.
Yeah, I think he's tried a little touch there, Pogba, and got lost the ball, but it's better for Manchester United. This is what Solskjaer want to see, his team. With the attacking players they have on this pitch, they should be doing a lot better against this West Ham team.
Well, they've had 71% possession, Manchester United. It's just been very laboured and very ineffective, largely, what they've had with it. And that's a proper microcosm of what a lot of Manchester United's issues have been recently, and just for so long, just languidly working that ball forward. And for me, Gabby, often lacking not just consistency, but urgency as well.
Yeah, I feel like Manchester United at the moment feel like even if they lose a goal, they've got 90 minutes to score. They'll come stronger in the second half, but they need to be strong from the start. Manchester United can't be always coming from behind to get a result.
Wan-Bissaka is back on the ball again. Probably been the one Man United player who's covered himself in something resembling glory in the opening 20 minutes of this game. Here's Pogba. Back to Scott McTominay, who is showing no ill effects from that fairly meaty challenge from Souček a few minutes ago. Now to Alex Tellez, and pitch is cutting up a little bit for me. We have had some awful weather here in recent days, haven't we?
Yeah, we can't complain about a little cut-up pitch though. It's the perfect bit of turf to play football on.
Harry Maguire, Manchester United captain, who's had his ups and downs, of course, as we know, in recent times. Trying to continually put all of that behind him. Artur Masuaku wins it back all too easily. Oh, curling ball through from Fornals. Had that found Jared Bowen, but he'd been through one-on-one. Man, you just about make a last-gasp clearance.
Yeah, it's a great run here from Bowen, and I think Pogba's closest to him, and he sees him late and then tries to...
It's Maguire to his credit, wasn't it?
He doesn't really try and get back too quickly there, Pogba, but that's the threat that West Ham have on the counter-attack with Fornals and Bowen.
Yep, Harry Maguire digging Pogba out of trouble there with a strong piece of defending. Mentioned how Maguire has had his issues of late, so of course is Edinson Cavani with a rather ill-judged tweet to somebody back in his homeland on the back of that win against Southampton, where he starred off the bench, subject of a club and a FA investigation. We'll leave it there, but a couple of Man U players have not had the best times of it of late, and of course that's on top of Fred out of this game for obvious reasons after being sent off in that Paris Saint-Germain defeat as well. None of that's exactly going to please Solskjaer either, is it?
No. I actually didn't know that. It's a foul there, Maguire. I actually didn't know that you can be suspended for a Champions League game and then go into the Premier League. I didn't know that.
No, we're not entirely sure whether he's just been left out by the club as a result of it, or whether or not, exactly, there is something more to it. But either way, Fred not given the chance to play. And I don't know if you heard them, but it was interesting to hear Solskjaer talk about how he wished maybe he'd taken Fred off after the first yellow when he saw the signs of the red mist and maybe should have done something.
I think even people that have never been coaches or managers would have took Fred off. I think it was blatantly he was getting wound up by Paredes, and it was obvious that he was going to get sent off for me.
As it was, he paid the price, and United will be without him in Europe, and he's out of the Premier League team at the moment as well. Tellez' delivery. That's a good piece of defending from Ogbonna, who was man of the match in that win against Aston Villa a few days ago. Good delivery from the Uruguayan, and Ogbonna really is in good form at the moment.
Yeah, they're in great form. But if you look at the cross here, they've got so many bodies in a defensive position, West Ham. They really are set up to frustrate teams that come to the Olympic Stadium, and you know it's going to be and you're going to need a bit of class from Van der Beek, Pogba to break down this team.
Corner to Manchester United. We're pretty much exactly halfway through the first 45 minutes. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 here on Premier League Live, and Tellez, left-footed, will bend this one in. It's not a short corner this time, but it's a bit scuffed. Masuaku gets it up to near halfway before Lindelof gets it back for Man United. Not a great delivery, but they do get away with it because Anthony Martial's picked it up pretty much back by the same corner flag where the dead ball was taken from a minute ago. Tellez is in swinger this time. Ogbonna slipped slightly, but still the Italian had enough purchase on his header to get the ball again back up to the edge of the D. Man United improved in the last few minutes, are back in possession once more through Paul Pogba. Maguire is the extra man who's missed out, back to Scott McTominay, and it's still a little bit languid, but we are seeing a bit more now from the Red Devils.
Yeah, I feel like they're growing into the game now. There's a lot of players making different movements and switching positions. This is what you want to see from Manchester United. But for me, West Ham still look comfortable. They're still keeping Manchester United in the distance.
Bonner, Balbuena and Cresswell as a back three. Masuaku and Kufal as the wing backs has worked really well in recent weeks. Souček, having got away with no yellow before, has now committed another silly foul and brought down Pogba this time, so that's both of his opposite numbers in midfield he's had a little hack at.
Yeah, he's that sort of midfielder though. He's no nonsense. I really like him. He can score goals as well, and he's very physical, and he's keeping the club legend Mark Noble out of the team.
That was a little less violent than the first one, but it's a free kick in a more dangerous position, one that could put plenty more pressure on the home team. Pogba bends it in. Guess what? It's Ogbonna again for the third time in recent minutes with the header clear. Man United miss control. Masuaku picks it up. Declan Rice, who's been fairly quiet in the game so far, the young skipper, of course heavily linked with the move to Chelsea, possibly in January or at the end of the season. The England international just quietly going about his business alongside Souček, as he often does. Ball given away again though by West Ham, who've been a little sloppy in recent minutes. And talking of sloppy, frustrating handball there from Anthony Martial. Missed that sitter against PSG, blazing over the bar with an open goal, and he continues to frustrate, doesn't he? And that handball, for me, is another classic example.
Yeah, I think sometimes he will see the bad report he gets. It's a handball there from Maguire. He's got away with one there.
Even though it wasn't deliberate, clearly his arm was outstretched and it ricocheted off it.
But I think with Martial, I think in his mind now in games, he doesn't know which Martial's going to turn up. I feel like he doesn't, his manager doesn't, us at home don't. And I feel like it's going to be a problem now with him keeping his place in this team because there's so many options for Manchester United going forward. He's not a guaranteed starter.
Can't remember the opponent, but I remember commentating on a Martial hat-trick last season, and Solskjaer saying post-match, finally after this, we're seeing him as the all-round, out-and-out, complete forward. And I remember he challenged Martial to keep that up. Now he'd shown the benchmark, and I think we can both safely say he didn't do that.
No, I think some days when he's up for it, he's unplayable, one of the best in the league, but it's not enough. You see the likes of Mane, even Werner, these players do it week in, week out. Martial does it now and then. That's the problem.
Completely agree. Really combative scrap for the ball in midfield. Fornals losing out. It was a bit of a physical mismatch up against McTominay and Pogba, and collectively they win it back for Manchester United. Here is Alex Tellez.
I think as well, you look at it now and look where Martial is. He's like in the middle. I'm sure he's meant to be playing on the left. I feel like sometimes you've got to keep you whipped because look at Manchester United now. They can't get through that many bodies in the middle. Yeah,
it gave Tellez no option ahead of him either, did it?
No, now he's up front with Cavani where he's probably not been told to play.
Positional discipline lacking at the moment. Cavani, is he onside? No, when he eventually touches it, he was off, so it will be a West Ham free kick deep inside their own half. Gabby, how hard is it as a player to keep up that positional discipline in the heat of battle?
I don't think it's difficult at all when you've been told by your manager where to play. I mean, we don't know. Martial might be given a licence to roam, but some managers are always given a licence to roam. Some managers, they'd say stay in your position, so it all depends on what the manager asks of you. But I just feel in that certain part of the play there, it would have been better for Martial to stay on the left, because Cavani's in the middle, he's got Van der Beek next to him. Sometimes you can crowd one position.
Voice of Gabby Agbonlahor as we tick towards 28 minutes on Premier League Live. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. Stephen has tweeted in at TalkSport Live saying he thinks Man U will take this by 2-1. As Edinson Cavani flicks it on deftly on halfway to Martial, now to Telles, who's got Cavani up ahead of him. With understanding between the two, which is a good sign. Ball chipped on by Pogba, sloppily so. Rice initially cut it out. Ball though from Fornals was then cut out by Wan-Bissaka. That ricochets back to Masuaku. Scrappy passage of play, but West Ham again showing a good bit of tenacity and hunger. And they're the team who emerge with the ball on the far side. Aaron Cresswell to Sebastian Haller, who Gabby has been forced to go out wide to see more of the ball, the big centre forward.
Yeah, I think because he's playing that role on his own, he just has to be available whenever they get the ball, West Ham. So you can't just stay in the middle, you've got to go all around the front line to receive it, because he's the option when they win the ball back.
Ball over the top, brought down by Jared Bowen, who had a brilliant first few minutes. He's been a bit quiet more of late, the former Hull man, and he just miscontrolled that as he tried to control it over his right shoulder. And it's out of play for a Manchester United throw. Brent Parker has tweeted in at TalkSport Live, back from the harrowing depths of COVID-19, made it out safe, but man, I missed my EPL Saturdays back here in my cafe in Montana, stronger than before and seeing life in a different way. My pride for my Gunners, though, is intact. We need a massive win tomorrow. Brent, great to see you back safe, my friend, and he'll be looking forward to that North London derby. And as ever, Gabby, Brent sends us a picture of what he's rustling up in his cafe. And today it's a very nice looking kind of steak and sweet corn kind of broth. Loads of bits of steak in there, bit of potato. Very nice, Brent.
Sounds lovely.
Very tasty, very tasty. By the way, we all have a blanket invite from Brent to go and eat in his restaurant if we can make it to Montana. So, road trip at the end of the season, Gabs. 2 Brummies.
Let's do it.
In Montana. What could go wrong? Half an hour gone. Here come West Ham, the roar of the crowd. We love it. Masuaku's got Cresswell hurtling down on his shoulder. Oh, Masuaku decided not to use him, and that was probably the wrong choice. In the end, he's forced to go back to Rice, who did well. Finds Masuaku, takes a deflection. Ball behind for a corner. For a second, though, that was really bubbling up for something more.
Yeah, it's good play from West Ham again. Declan Rice clearing up in midfield, and once again, though, for me, it's Manchester United, poor play, poor passing from Van der Beek and Pogba, and just a Manchester United team doesn't really look up for the game. And if I was Ben Rama on the bench, I'd be definitely getting myself warm, because this is the sort of game he'd love to come on in.
So impressive, of course, at Brentford, where he is technically on loan from ahead of the move being made permanent. Fornals from the short corner, bends it in, looking for that dangerous head of Angelo Ogbonna. Another loose moment from Man United, guilty slightly of ball watching. Dean Henderson, though, takes the situation into his own hands and comes and claims ahead of the other centre-half, Fabian Balbuena. Good from West Ham, and it's not convincing at all from United at the back.
No, but you see there, it was a great header, to be fair, from Paul Pogba. He's done well to win that from Ogbonna, but Manchester United just look not into their flow yet. It looks like they're not warm, not ready for the game. You look at there, another touch from Cavani, where you'd expect him to hold on to the ball, he gives it away.
Oh, great play from Bowen, who goes through McTominay with ease and then beats Telles. All ends up as well. Wonderful run. Right-footed cross is a beauty. Oh, what a chance! And Fornals has stuck it into the side netting. Superb from Bowen. And Fornals arriving late on the edge of the 6-yard box. Really should have done better.
Yeah, it's a great run from Bowen. I love watching this lad play. I mean, he gets the ball there, he takes on 2 players, gets past them, gets a cross in, and what I like about him, he doesn't even look. He knows the area to put the cross in. 4 miles header, unlucky. Great play from West Ham.
Angle, I think, for Fornals was just slightly too acute, wasn't it?
But this is what I like about wingers like Bowen. He's not going to end up chopping back onto his left foot and doing different chops. He wants to get the cross in without even looking.
Bowen from distance over the bar, but worth a pop as well. And I totally agree with you. I mean, I'd cover a lot of Arsenal. And, you know, you look at someone like Nicola Pepe, his right foot. I know he did score one terrific goal with his right foot. We shouldn't forget that a few weeks ago, and that was all the more shocking because he did. But you just see these players cut back all the time, and that's a man who cost 70-odd million quid.
Yeah, but I feel like you need to be able to cross with your weaker foot nowadays in football. Even if you're predominantly left-footed, you need to be able to put some sort of crossing with your right foot.
Yep, completely agree with you. And Bowen, another good example of a player bought from the Championship, from the second tier, from Hull City, who was done very well. And we've seen a few of them, haven't we? And it goes back to your Ben Rama point that hopefully he would do exactly the same if given a bit more of an opportunity. But we do see a fair few, not everyone, but a lot that make that step up.
Yeah, you do, and I feel like Ben Rama can do a similar job. But what I really like about Bowen is that he's direct, he can score goals, and he can get good crosses in.
Van den Beek with a better moment there up against Rice, just shields it nicely and trickles it out to the right hand side to Mason Greenwood, who we've not seen much of at all. Good cross from Greenwood. Cavani and Martial waiting to pounce. Again it was Agbonna who got the ball clear. Pogba slipped on the edge of the box. I think he's okay, he's hobbling a little bit. He's just taken a knock, I think, to his right leg as the ball is thumped clear. Pogba has broken back into a Pogba-esque trot, which as we know isn't much of a trot. I think he's okay. Ball goes out of play for a West Ham throw. He is labouring a little, Paul Pogba here.
Yeah, but I think the way he started the game has been that poor. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Solskjaer would even think of a sub now and get Fernandes on, because they're missing that spark, Manchester United, and he's looking like a team that can't play without Bruno Fernandes.
He's not looking great. We mentioned how, let's add them up, there are 27 goals or assists between Fernandes and Rashford, and to have them both on the bench at this point of the season, did fear that they might miss them, and it's really looking like that. West Ham on the attack again. Masuaku beat one player in the form of Greenwood, tried to flick the ball inside to Fornals, couldn't do so. It's one back though, nice interception from Balbuena. Here's Jared Bowen once more, who's exploded back into life in this game after a quiet middle period in the first half. Allaire to Fornals! Oh, it's off the post! And it ricochets into the gloves of Dean Henderson. Fornals' effort lacked power, but it was nearly perfectly accurate through a sea of bodies, hits the upright and comes back into the keeper's arms.
It's again lovely play from Bowen. He just dribbles with the ball so well. He puts in a great cross here. It's a great little touch from Haller into Fornals, and it's a great idea to finish, just to get a little toe poke on it. And I mean, West Ham are so unlucky not to be ahead in this game.
Wow. So we have seen Fornals twice now with a header where he should have scored from brilliance from Bowen, and there Bowen and Allaire teeing him up, pokes the ball against the post. And
it's a total different West Ham than the West Ham that turned up against Aston Villa.
And again they still, admittedly luckily even by West Ham's own words, won. I know exactly what you mean. Now Man United, rocked by those couple of moments, are back on the counter themselves through Mason Greenwood, cutting in field, left-footed to Pogba, shot from distance, it's on target, but it was straight at Lucas Fabianski. Powerful side footer from about 30 yards out. In the end, a pretty comfortable save.
Yeah, but that's what you want from Pogba. It's a great pass into Greenwood over the top, and he's got back into the play now, and it's on another day Pogba hits that better and he scores a goal, but it's promising from Pogba and Greenwood.
It's at least a shot on target for Manchester United. Good play on the far side from West Ham, and again that Masuaku-Cresswell combination of two kind of left-backs by trade, but probably quite nicely suited, I think. Cresswell, with his injury records and a little bit his age, to be like now the left side of a back three, and Masuaku, who can't really defend, let's be honest, being the left wing back. I think actually you get the best out of both of them.
Yeah, I think it suits them. I mean, I really like the formation that West Ham play, but I just like it when they use their attacking players and their wing backs forward more, which they're doing today.
Masuaku must be delighted when he looks back and sees Cresswell there to help him out in the iffier moments. And Cresswell really has been doing well. 3 assists this season, no goals yet, but a few well-struck goals last season. That was after an awful couple of years that were blighted by injury. Cresswell had got into an England squad 2 or 3 years ago, and slowly is getting that confidence back to be the player he used to be. Allaire's ball over the top to Bowen. Oh, shot from Bowen from another tight angle, blocked by Wan-Bissaka and behind for another corner. Bowen jinking the ball from left to right. Wan-Bissaka with a good block. And Man U in trouble again.
What I like is the hold-up play from Haller there. You know, he gets in front, puts in a great cross first time, and it's unlucky from Bowie. Maybe if we can try and get a little cross in there, back to the back post, but it's more promising play from West Ham, and they're by far the better team, and deservedly they need to be in the leads.
37 gone here on Premier League Live. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. Numke Cletus Leatham says that Man U will still win this game. Nothing will stop them. Samuel Barnes, Villa fan from Litchfield in Greensboro, North Carolina these days, says Gabby is a Villa legend. Man U to win this one 3-1. Ollie will still, though, get fired soon. Cresswell's delivery, and the ball is poked in for the opening goal, and it's Thomas Souček who gets it. Once again, the Man United defence at 6s and 7s. West Ham want it more. Moyes' boys take the lead. Souček fires home in front of 2,000 screaming fans. Great to have them back. The bubbles go off. It's West Ham 1, Manchester United 0.
We'll get a look at the replay here if it's onside, but I really hope it is onside because West Ham deserve the lead. We got a replay here, let's have a look. Yeah, he's onside, he's a mile onside. Great flick on from the near post, and Souček, that's what he does. He gets in the box and he scores goals.
Declan Rice with the flick on, and it was perfectly worked. An excellent outswinging corner, I should say. Rice with a very powerful header, and Souček, Gabby, completely unmarked to poke that one home. There was no one near him.
What's funny, if you look at the replay that we can see here, you can see Tellez and Pogba standing still like they're watching a screen or something, and Souček just ran unmarked and got the finish. But it's just what West Ham deserved. I mean, by far the better team, and should be 2 or 3-0 up, to be honest.
Thomas Souček's second goal of the season. It was a famous one for any pub quiz, I guess, in the future. The first goal to be scored this season in front of fans. First one since March, of course, in the Premier League to be scored in front of fans. Thomas Souček, 38 minutes in to the West Ham Man United game. One never to forget, Gabby.
No, of course not, and it's going to be a better feeling now in the game for this West Ham team with their fans on their side, because it's been an outstanding performance so far. I'm sure these 2,000 fans will be cheering them on to go and get some more goals.
Man U have only won 3 out of their last 11 league trips to a combination of Upton Park and London Stadium. 5 draws, 3 losses. And West Ham hoping to beat United for a third successive home game. The last time they did that was when they won 4 straight back in the mid-1970s. Chance for a second goal. Allaire is through 1-on-1. He rounds Henderson. He has to round Maguire. He slips. Oh, no! It's a comedy of errors. It should have been 2-0. Allaire beat his man, beat the keeper. And as Maguire bore in, he slipped, then tried to regain his footing, and then slipped again. And we stay at 1-0.
I feel like he might be offside, though, from when the ball's played, maybe. Let's have a look.
Very tight.
Very tight. He'll be hoping that he gets told at half-time he was offside, but...
Rounds the keeper, fine. Then he's got Maguire on his backside, and then he falls.
It's unlucky, though. Like, I've been there in them positions. You think you've got the time, but then you can lose your balance, and that's what happened there. But good play, good run from Haller, and this is what West Ham fans want to see from him. Make them runs in behind. Don't always come to feet. And he's had a great start to the game.
Maybe Allaire had used up all of his luck when he scored that goal against Sheffield United, which I can't believe was in 189 Eredivisie, Bundesliga and Premier League appearances. It was his first ever goal from outside the penalty area, so maybe that's where all the good luck went.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at this performance of Manchester United, though. I'm sure there'll be loads of subs at half-time.
Masuaku bends it in. Souček, down as far as Balbuena. And the Paraguayan's effort was deflected wide, I think, for another corner. Man U are absolutely all at sea here. Masuaku, nobody's coming for him. Souček down to Balbuena. My goodness, that could so easily have been another. And Lindelof this time just gets enough of a sliver of a deflection to poke it behind Gabby for another corner.
Yeah, I think they're waiting for maybe a handball from Souček, but he wasn't coming, and they're lucky again, because if that dropped to a different player, it would have been another goal for West Ham.
Nobody came close to marking Masuaku ahead of the cross either. Cresswell's delivery once more. It's another good corner, as we saw for the goal. Cresswell sold slightly short for the return delivery, and as a result he does get the ball but is forced to go back. Again, a good example of what Cresswell can do with a dead ball, not just free kicks but corners as well. So effortlessly finding Rice to flick on for Souček's goal. This time with his right foot he bends it in. Very nice play from Cresswell once more. Souček's up there again, appealing for a penalty after colliding with Pogba. Loose ball as far as Bowen jinks it in. Did that come off the arm of Teles? Referee says no. Bowen wins it again as far as Vladimir Kufal, the Czech right wing back. Allaire flicks this one on but miscontrols. Finally Henderson gets a hold of the ball. It is all happening 3 minutes before half time, isn't it?
I just can't believe that Man United players are not pressing the ball here from Pogba. That could have easily been a penalty.
He tries a bicycle kick in his own box.
And I mean, it's been comical for Manchester United, but you've got to give West Ham credit because they're not sticking on the 1-0. They want to go and get another goal in the game.
He was about, 6 inches away from bicycle kicking Souček's head instead. And if he had, that definitely would have been a penalty. Dangerous play. Arguably it was anyway, but he got away with it. Nearly 43 gone. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0.
I think we know one thing for sure. We'll be seeing Fernandes very soon, I'm sure, in the second half.
I think you're absolutely right. Martial as far as Teles. Little 1-2 back to Anthony Martial. Curling effort. Oh, good save from Lucas Fabianski. He saw that one late. And he made a nice save, poking it behind after Martial nearly stuck it in the top right corner.
I think Martial might have heard us then, so he's decided to have a shot on goal. But this is great play from Teles and Martial. He gets it, and I think he's gone for the near post. But if he went for the far post, I think that would have been a goal as well for Martial. But good play for Manchester United there.
Out-swinging delivery from Teles, looking for Pogba. Rice wins that one in the air. Souček, the goal scorer, helps, gets it clear, and you've committed a lot of bodies forward, and Bowen has burst clear. If he's got the pace to control this and come through, it could be another one-on-one. Oh, well done, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who reacted quickly. Bowen just had to check his run slightly as he burst clear. Van den Beek was scurrying back too, but it was Wan-Bissaka who made a critical sliding challenge, Gabby.
Yeah.
Oh, shot as we speak, poked clear again from Henderson, and it was Bowen again. You can't take your eye off this game for a second.
No, I feel like if that touch from Bowen had been in front of him, he would have probably ended up getting through, but more good play from West Ham. They've been really good this half.
Bowen did really well, just didn't quite fall for him. Another delivery as we look just at what happened moments ago. Wow, really good chance. And now back on the big screen, Gabby, to the chance for the goal. And Bowen, initially he did well, checked that run, and do you know what? I think Wan-Bissaka is probably the only player, I'll stick by what I said before, who's actually done anything resembling okay for Man United.
Yeah, and you knew straight away that Wan-Bissaka was going to catch him. I mean, no one on the pitch will be getting away from Wan-Bissaka there, and he's the only one that can take any credit from this first half. I mean, we talk about Solskjaer not having respect of players. I'm not sure what Alex Ferguson will be doing at half-time. I think he'll be making 3 changes the way they've started this game.
Would the hairdryer be plugged in already 100%. And on extreme maximum blast?
For sure.
If not warmer and more powerful. Absolutely. Eric Ten Hag says, tell Maguire, please, he's not a midfielder. He gets done over the top all the time. He needs to stick to defending, and I think he'd be far better. And he and Lindelof would have a better relationship. Okay, certainly one of a few of the issues Man United have maybe got, Eric, but for me at the moment it's just their lack of conviction at the back for dead balls and set pieces. No one seems to want to take any ownership of the danger.
No, but we see again there Martial clumsy, and West Ham are pressing so well.
Yeah, and that's definitely helping as Martial slips. Balbuena wins it easily, and we'll credit Paul Pogba here as Balbuena bore down on the edge of the Man United penalty area. Pogba with a forceful shoulder charge, but a legal one, eased the Paraguayan out the way and won it back. But then after the good work, Man United undo all of that and give it away again. Here come West Ham, edge of the penalty area. The excellent Jared Bowen finds Sebastian Allaire. Allaire had to just reach for that one. The Ivory Coast international just pokes it over the bar and out for what will be the last kick of the first half. Man United, apart from one Martial effort saved by Fabianski, have been mightily disappointing. West Ham, excellent value for their lead. Fornals with a couple of great chances. Bowen, absolutely exceptional. And the man who got the goal, his second of the season, was Thomas Souček, set up by a combination of Cresswell and Rice. So far, so good for David Moyes against his old team. And the Hammers halfway to 4 straight Premier League wins. At the break, West Ham 1, Manchester United 0 on Premier League Live.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tires. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tyres. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tyres below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimetres. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tyre safety check to ensure your tyres are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance plc.
Upgrade your home viewing experience at Curry's PC World. See every tackle, shot and goal in crystal clear definition with our huge range of the latest to market large screen TVs with massive savings. Like save up to €250 on Samsung 4K TVs from only $459. And get your TV for half price. 1 in 20 win half their money back. Buy any LG OLED TV to enter with prices from just $1,249. Shop online at currys.ie.
What will you really gain from using anabolic steroids? Using illegal anabolic steroids can lead to nasty and serious side effects, both physical and psychological. Heart failure, infertility, hair loss, acne, mood swings, increased aggression. Don't lose out to steroid gains. Know the risks. Visit zerogains.ie. A message from the Health Products Regulatory Authority.
Certainty. With Volkswagen commercial vehicles, it's included as standard. Quality, performance, reliability. And now with purchase contributions of up to €3,500 and service plans from $999. For vans and offers you can rely on, always. Contact your local Volkswagen commercial vehicles dealer or visit volkswagenvans.ie. T's and C's apply.
There's certain matchday sounds we are all missing. But there are others we don't have to. Is Carlsberg Pilsner the best beer to enjoy while watching the match at home? Probably. Carlsberg Pilsner, probably the best beer in the world. Enjoy Carlsberg sensibly. Visit drinkaware.ie.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home, to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Scoil Céile. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
You're listening to Talk Sports coverage of West Ham United against Manchester United from the London Stadium. I'm your host, Russell Hargreaves, and alongside me is the former Aston Villa and England striker Gabby Agbonlahor, and this is Premier League Live. Just the one goal so far, but plenty of incidents and plenty of drama in front of those 2,000 returning fans. All over the top is Bowen onside. The answer is yes. 1-on-1. Opening goal is scored by Jared Bowen, but it will not stand. Great play from Bowen, who goes through McTominay with ease and then beats Telles. All ends up as well. Wonderful run. Right-footed cross. It's a beauty. Oh, what a chance! And Fornals has stuck it into the side netting. Superb from Bowen. And Fornals arriving late on the edge of the 6-yard box. Really should have done better. Allaire to Fornals. Oh, it's off the post. And it ricochets into the gloves of Dean Henderson. Fornals' effort lacked power. It was nearly perfectly accurate through a sea of bodies. Hits the upright and comes back into the keeper's arms. Creswell's delivery, and the ball is poked in for the opening goal, and it's Thomas Souček who gets it. Once again, the Man United defence at 6s and 7s. West Ham want it more. Moyes' boys take the lead. Souček fires home in front of 2,000 screaming fans. Great to have them back. The bubbles go off. It's West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. Allaire is through 1-on-1. He rounds Henderson. He has to round Maguire. He slips. Oh no! It's a comedy of errors. It should have been 2-0. Allaire beat his man, beat the keeper, and as Maguire bore in, he slipped, then tried to regain his footing, and then slipped again, and we stay at 1-0. Gabby Agbonlahor. All of those West Ham chances. There was, of course, that one Martial effort that Fabianski saved. We'll note that, but it's a pretty fair reflection of the half, I think, that montage.
Yeah, 100%. West Ham by far the better team. This game should be out of the way of Manchester United even getting back into it. It should be 2 or 3-0 to West Ham. They've been amazing. The aggression they've shown, the pressing, the attacking play, and Manchester United on the other hand have been an absolute disgrace.
Loads of tweets coming in at TalkSport Live. Chris Chadello, good morning lads from Missouri in the US. These Red Devils have got my blood pressure up this morning. 3-1 for United. As always, a great commentary and a pleasure listening. So Chris still thinks United will come back and get the job done in the second half. We'll wait and see. And Lee Hart has tweeted in saying, I can't see anything in this fog in Oregon, but I'm hoping for a Leeds win, boys, later on. And Gabs, he's tweeted in a picture where literally you can see about a foot of road and then a load of snow and blanket fog. So Lee, please drive safe. That is not easy. Wherever you're listening around the world, drop us a tweet, let us know what you're up to, send us a picture and how you think this match is going to pan out as well. At the break, it's West Ham leading by a goal to 0. Now, one more game to look forward to a little bit later is that Leeds game away at Chelsea with Barry Swain and Paul Parker kicking off in just over an hour and a half's time. Let's hear from Leeds' Ercan Aliovski saying that their boss, Marcelo Bielsa, has been incredible.
It's really a special coach, and I say this one time when the COVID was lockdown, the first lockdown, Leeds need to be thankful that he arrives in Leeds, because he changed not only the players, he changed everything on Leeds around him. So the people that works here, he bring like the power, he bring like the discipline, he bring like the hope to believe for something, for a goal to get it, and he wants always to get the maximum from a player. But this you can do only if you believe on his project, on his work, and I think the player, we understand here from the first day when we start, we understand when we follow and we do this, what he wants to get from us, we're going to have success with him.
Yeah, Marcelo Bielsa is not a man I think you want to cross, but he's one who often does seem to get results, Gabby, doesn't he? And of course you love Leeds.
Yeah. No, he gets results, doesn't he? You see how the Leeds team play. Even tonight, you'll see how they'll play. They'll press. They won't even respect the fact that it's Chelsea. They'll still have many players flying forward and trying to score goals. And it's been a breath of fresh air for the Premier League. And long may continue them attacking teams and trying to score goals. Yeah,
Leeds 14 points from 10 games so far. I wouldn't take them back into the top half. If Chelsea win, they go top of the table until at least tomorrow, when the top two, of course, return to action. Spurs up against Arsenal in that North London derby, and then Liverpool playing as well against Wolves in the late game with Tom Rennie and David Connolly. It's also West Brom, Crystal Palace and Sheffield United, Leicester City as well. Earlier on today, Burnley 1, Everton 1 and Manchester City 2, Fulham 0. Not great from City, but they're back up to 4th for now. Boss Pep Guardiola saying they have to carry on this momentum.
Good to win the game. Again, we didn't concede much, we create more. So this is the most important thing in all the games happen. We didn't win much in a row this season, and that's why it's important, the second victory in a row. And we are not far away from the top of the league, especially if we are able to win our game left against a tough opponent like Aston Villa.
That's Pep Guardiola. What do you see City accomplishing by the end of this Premier League season, Gabby?
I think they're going to miss out on winning the league. I think City will finish either 3rd or 4th. I feel like Chelsea, Liverpool and even Spurs as an all-round team are probably stronger, but you never know with Manchester City. Pep is a genius, isn't he? And maybe he's got the secret to winning the league, but I can't go against Liverpool, to be honest. I feel like they're stronger all round the pitch.
And of course, this is at the moment when they're bereft of a lot of players, and they are still there or thereabouts, and you strengthen that squad back, and you wonder where they may go from here, Gabby. I fully agree. The Phenomenal says, crikey, talk about that goal surely coming as Souček does the damage. You're absolutely right. The weight of momentum was thus, wasn't it? And Damien McCartney, so many chances. We should be 3 up. But Damien, I'm afraid West Ham, your boys, are not. It's only 1-0. Could it end up costing them those spurned opportunities? One more, De Maestro. The only difference between Ollie and Moyes is that Moyes didn't score for United in a Champions League final. Hint, of course, to the fact that Moyes lasted just under a season, and Ole Gunnar is still there or thereabouts, even though this Man U team isn't an awful lot probably better or more successful than plenty that have gone prior in recent years. Anyway, the second half to come is going to be an absolute cracker. West Ham a goal to the good here on Premier League Live.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tires. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tires. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tires below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimeters. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tire safety check to ensure your tires are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance plc.
Upgrade your home viewing experience at Curry's PC World. See every tackle, shot and goal in crystal clear definition with our huge range of the latest to market large screen TVs with massive savings. Like save up to €250 on Samsung 4K TVs from only $459. And get your TV for half price. 1 in 20 win half their money back. Buy any LG OLED TV to enter with prices from just $1,249. Shop online at currys.ie.
Get ready and hold on tight, because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track, and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews and opinions from the biggest names in football, plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed, because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport Disinfectant Treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Excludes shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of West Ham United against Manchester United from the London Stadium. I'm your host, Russell Hargreaves. Alongside me, the former Aston Villa and England striker Gabby Agbonlahor, and this is Premier League Live. And Gabby, straight to the big news. I think we're about to see a double Man United substitution with Messrs Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford coming onto the field. What do you make of that?
I mean, I called it, didn't I? I just knew that when you see a manager of Manchester United, you have to be prepared to make big changes at big times, and they needed to change something. It wasn't working with the players he had on there, and it looks to me that it might be maybe Van der Beek and Cavani that are coming off for Rashford and Fernandes, and Manchester United would have preferred to rest these two players for the big game against Leipzig, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't trust the players that are on the pitch in the first half, so he's had no choice.
We talked about Van den Beek getting the opportunity to really show what he can do in the Premier League, and he did not do much in that first half. And Cavani, yes, he's done some great stuff the last couple of weeks, the 33-year-old, but silly back heel early on, 1 or 2 other iffy moments as well. Neither covered themselves in any sort of glory, did they?
I feel like Van der Beek now, he's agent and he likes to talk, and himself, he has to wait now till he gets another chance, because I'm sure he's going to be spending a lot of time on the bench, because he's moaned about not playing, but he's not taking his chance.
Yep, confirmation from the fourth official. It is indeed Edinson Cavani, and Connie van den Beek that go off for Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. And remember, as I mentioned, 28 goals and assists in all competitions between Fernandes and Rashford already this season. Very iffy gamble from Solskjaer to leave them both on the bench for this one. It's backfired, and he has brought the cavalry on at half-time. And as Gabby rightly says, big Champions League game to come. We'd love to have kept them fresh and probably only play them for a few minutes max in this one. It's not the case. Immediately Man United are onto the attack, but Anthony Martial has just ghosted offside on the far side as the whistle goes when he touches the ball. Man U, to be fair, is still joint top of their group, aren't they, Gabby, and with the best goal difference, so all they have to do is get a point at Leipzig and they are through. So it's still a decent situation, but again, a bit like in the Premier League tonight, one that they're making harder than it needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the last win they played in Turkey, and it's just a game where Leipzig are going to be up for it. You know you've got to win the game, so from the start I'm sure Leipzig will be attacking, and you say a draw is good enough, but even to get a draw is not easy against such a great team, and it's going to be conditions that are not going to be great for Manchester United. Knowing that you've got a draw normally means that you've got to go out and score, really. You can't be just looking for a 0-0.
Frustrating offside at the other end for West Ham United. Fornals it was who was looking to thread the eye of the needle, but up went the referee's assistance flag. Minute and a half played of the second half here on Premier League Live. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0, and as ever we value everybody's company wherever you're listening around the world. Welcome to East London, to the old site of the London 2012 Olympic Games. A slightly modified Olympic Stadium that, 3 or 4 years now, has been the home of West Ham. Of course, their last game at the Boland Ground at Upton Park was an unforgettable win against Manchester United. And as we talked about, largely their record against the Red Devils league-wise has been strong for a number of years now. Certainly halfway through this game or just over. Looks like that might be about to continue. West Ham, though, do concede a free kick there. Bonner has brought down Anthony Martial. On halfway, Manchester United get a free kick, which Scott McTominay takes. Infield to Harry Maguire. And back now to McTominay, who's being pressed by Fornals, who loves to cover every blade of grass. Off the top of those stats when it comes to ground covered in a game for West Ham. They'll still be ruining those missed opportunities in the first half, though, as Creswell clips one forward, looking for the head of Sébastien Haller, the French-born Ivory Coast striker. Haller couldn't quite get there. It was over the big number 22. McTominay won it back. First touch for one of those two subs, Marcus Rashford on the far side. Remember, a shoulder injury kept him out of training on Friday. On at half-time, no free kick. He feels he was shoved on the far side by Vladimir Koufal. Ref was having none of it. Here come Man United once more. West Ham just standing off their men slightly here, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, you're more weary now. You've got the likes of Fernandes and Rashford. You know you can't get super tight to these players because they're so talented, so it's going to be a different half for West Ham players.
Should be a fascinating second half. Great to have you with us at Talk Sport Live. Keep your tweets coming in. I'll run everybody back through the lineups in a second. Here is Koufal once more, finding his compatriot Souček, the goal scorer. He's upended. Scrappy foul there from Alex Telles. Telles trying to protest his innocence over on the far side. Not a great challenge, that.
No, it's a pointless foul as well. There's enough Manchester United players around the ball to win it back, but I think West Ham needed that little breather.
Scott Mead has sent us a picture while he's watching the game and listening to us. He's there with his son. Us on the radio with the game on the telly. Was a good combination, Scott. Hoping for another West Ham win. Well, we'll see if your two generations of the Mead household can get that or not. 49 gone. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. Aaron Wan-Bissaka about midway inside the West Ham half for the Red Devils. Back to McTominay. Poor ball from Paul Pogba, easily cut out by the West Ham captain Declan Rice. He surges forward back into United territory to Jared Bowen. Bowen pushed and shackled by Rashford and forced back to his own goalkeeper, and immediately Rashford doing some work without the ball, which we didn't see many Man U players do in the first half, Gabby.
No, it's just nice to see that press from Rashford, and hopefully the rest of the team can copy him.
Well, forward from Fabianski with an astute one. He's not got the longest goal kick on him, and just there played a clever pass about 25 yards to Koufal. Rice, Souček, Cresswell. Nice football this from West Ham. Here's Artur Masuaku. Cresswell's on the overlap. Masuaku wants not to use him. It's the second time he's done that. Puts in a not particularly convincing cross in the end in the direction of Allaire. Miscontrolled by Greenwood, allowing Masuaku to win it back. Again, he could use Cresswell and opts not to. Goes infield where he nearly loses it. Fornals tries to find Cresswell but overhits it, and prod Aaron Cresswell twice there was screaming for the ball.
It's
not like he's not good.
Masuaku doesn't want to give him the ball.
Yeah, it's almost like he's jealous of him.
Yeah, he doesn't want him to whip in a better cross than him on his left foot, maybe. But no, it's some more good play there, and I think West Ham use their centre halves well.
Yep, that structure, that shape of West Ham that Gabby highlighted in the first half continues to work well. Nice turn from the goal scorer Souček there to take Fernandes briefly out of the game. Again, though, like Rashford, hungry for the ball, scurrying around and snapping at the heels of the West Ham players. 50 gone, 1-0 West Ham. Cresswell again over the top. Was Bowen shoved in the back? Play on, advantage. Referee says, Allaire. Oh, in loads of space now on the far side is Kufal. Cross shot! Oh, Bowen could not quite get there. Wan-Bissaka made it hard for him. Bowen stuck out of boot, and with the goal at his mercy from a tight angle, pokes it just wide.
Great play from West Ham. There's a foul there on Bowen earlier on. Great play from Haller, and I mean, no one's picking up the West Ham fullback, and it's a great ball across the box, and I think Bowen's got to score here. He's got to score. I think he's not sure where the goal is when he's making connection, and it's another great chance for West Ham. I hope they don't rue these chances.
Yeah, Bowen, I agree, should have scored. It wasn't easy, but I think he should have guided that home regardless. And Wan-Bissaka, just trying to put him off, ended up sliding into the post and properly put his body on the line. And, you know, that was a little percentile there in that miss, I think, as well. Wan-Bissaka's efforts did well. Nearly 52 gone. West Ham 1, Man United 0. Masuaku coming forward again, and obviously not giving the ball to Cresswell, but this time doesn't actually manage to win the throw either, because it comes back off him.
What I like about West Ham, though, is that they know that there's option for them to score goals in this game still.
Yeah, completely agree. They're certainly not sitting on a 1-0 lead, but Rice uncharacteristically gives the ball away there. Martial turning, Fernandes, Pogba, for once a powerful barnstorming one from the Frenchman. Ball given away after a good initial interception from Balbuena as far as Martial. It ricochets back. Maguire in the end gets there ahead of Allaire and then beats Bowen. Man U, having lost it, are back into the ascendancy themselves. Shot from distance from Maguire. Was on target, dipping, saved by Fabianski. Not bad at all for Harry Maguire, that.
Oh, great effort, but it's so frustrating as an attacker seeing this happen. I mean, you're not going to score from here, Harry Maguire, and you can see Greenwood's reaction on the replay. He throws his hands up in the air because it's a waste of a good chance, a good attack.
The greatest respect, though, what's Greenwood done in this game to deserve the ball?
Yeah, it's a good...
Here's Allaire. Was he clipped by Maguire? He certainly thinks so, and he's down holding his heel. Allaire has had one or two injury problems, of course, over the 2 seasons he's been here in East London.
I think it was a foul, definitely.
Yeah, nothing given, though, and the boos from the West Ham fans say it all. Here's Fernandes, finds Greenwood, trying to prove me wrong with a curling effort. Some of the best we've seen of Greenwood in the game, but I think his effort actually clipped in the end off Martial and behind for a goal kick.
Well, more good play from Manchester United. I like the way Greenwood's not staying out wide. He's trying to get involved in the play. And I think if you look at Fernandez's reaction, he's not happy with Greenwood by not giving him the ball back. But it's better for Manchester United. This is what they want to see. Solskjaer wants to see more attacks and more shots because we're already 10 minutes into the second half.
Yep, 54 gone. West Ham 1, Man United 0. Here is Vladimir Kufal. Check right back. Back in field as West Ham confidently stroke the ball around. I'll run you back through their team. Fabianski in goal, Ogbonna, Balbuena and Cresswell at the back. Masuaku and Kufal the wing backs with Rice and Souček inside them. Fornals and Bowen supporting Allaire up front. The bench, Randolph, Benrahma, Lanzini, Snodgrass, Noble, Diop and Johnson. Here come Man United through Marcus Rashford cutting in field up against Kufal. Does well to find McTominay. Powerful effort from Scott McTominay. Well struck, clips the side netting and goes behind. That was better from United.
Yeah, it was a lot better. Rashford's onside. It looked like he was offside, but he's onside. Great play from Rashford. This is what you want. Direct running at the defenders, and he plays off a lovely pass to McTominay. And I feel if that was Fernandes, it'd be 1-1 now.
Decent effort, though, from McTominay. Got 1 goal this season already. Pretty close to number 2. And you can see it on the young man's face. He knew that was only, 5 or 6 inches away?
Yeah, it looked like a deflection as well, but it's not been given. But that's where you want Fernandez to drop because he's clinical from there.
Apologies, by the way, it is a baby girl that Scotty Mead was holding there. Absolutely fantastic picture, Scott, you and your baby girl. Great to have you watching the game and listening to us. Prince of Kande saying Bowen in this game is like Trossard at Brighton, so unlucky and deserves a goal. Yeah, he certainly does, Prince of Kande. That's all the way from Ibadan in Nigeria at TalkSport Live. Keep your tweets coming in. Bruno Fernandes for United. Pokes it forward looking for Martial. Once more, Ogbonna cuts it out and finds Creswell. Lovely crossfield ball from Creswell to Bowen. As West Ham to switch the plan of attack and again ease the pressure on them. Bowen, short ball to Fornals. Rice, now back to the near side. Here's Masuaku, bending delivery. It's over the top of Henderson, who's happy to watch it go. Have to play in the end for a goal kick. Masuaku just overhitting that one, but I like West Ham's invention and use of width there.
Yeah, and they're the sort of balls that Haller wants. He wants and crosses in for his heading ability is very good, and West Ham are looking with their formation. They've always got an option with Masuaku or Cresswell to get them crosses in.
56 gone. West Ham lead by 1-0. Here's Pogba. Again, it's a bit of a languid build-up to the ponytailed Tellez. Back to Pogba, who's slowly worked his way to halfway. Greenwood finds Rashford. He certainly has injected something, as has Fernandes since coming on. Back with Bruno Fernandes. They worked their way through one player in the form of Souček, but then couldn't get past Fabian Balbuena, who did well. And you get it back though in central midfield through McTominay, whose influence in the game is growing for sure. He plays a 1-2 with Wan-Bissaka. Fernandes with a back heel. Nice interplay with Martial. Back to Anthony Martial. Wants to pull the trigger. Won't fall for him. And it won't fall for Rashford either. There's an offside flag up as well, and the frustration, the angst is etched all over Martial's face there, Gabby.
Yeah, but it's good play for Manchester United. Fernandes, little 1-2s, but it's a bit tight, the area they're looking to play in. They need to use the width more and keep Rashford on the left and Greenwood on the right, because West Ham has one position, they've got a lot of numbers, and that's in the middle. It looks as like Martial's struggling as well with his groin.
Green, having made a double substitution already, will Man United be forced to make number 3 on roughly the hour mark? Would be far from ideal. By the way, this is only the 4th time that these two teams have met in the Premier League era, where West Ham have been higher in the table.
It doesn't look great from looking from his reaction there and the way he's walking, looks like he's done his groin, Martial, so that's a big loss for Manchester United for this game and for the Leipzig game.
And it's a busy December to come as well. 5 more Premier League games, the Leipzig game, and of course a Carabao Cup quarter-final against Everton as well. All of those games between now and the end of December. And will there be no Anthony Martial for possibly all of those? Groins take a little while to heal, don't they?
Yeah, I'm sure. Normally a month groin, so he could miss all them games. But to be honest, he's been very poor, so maybe a substitution will help the team anyway. Maybe bringing on Juan Mata to replace him.
What Juan Mata, as we know, is very good at, isn't it? Is he never gives up, and he's a very strong team man, and we see him now warm up with pretty serious gusto, the veteran Spaniard, but he's very good at picking a pass and unlocking a defence in a congested area, isn't he?
Yeah, very good player, and I think he's underrated as well, and whenever he's come into the team this season, he's done very well, and he's unlucky to not get more game time.
I agree, obviously double player of the season at Chelsea, multiple title and silverware winner there where he was magnificent. Did well initially at Man U when they were struggling. He was one of few who shone and became a firm fan favourite during some of the dark days as a result, but I agree with you, he almost seems to have been excessively put a little bit more to the sidelines. Koufal's delivery for West Ham, looking for Fornals. It was Lindelof's header this time clear that was strong. I think another thing as well is that Mata is such a good team man, he's probably not going to kick up much of a fuss if he is benched, because he likes to work with the squad, help people, and he probably is an easier man to maybe manipulate in and out of the team ego-wise. Here come Man United looking for their equaliser. Super run from Rashford, beat 2 players. Balbuena showed him wide, and in the end Rashford finds the side netting. I think it took a nick for another corner. Nice play from Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, that's where you want him, one-on-one with the full-back, and he's unstoppable. No one can tackle Marcus Rashford in them positions, and he's unlucky to get the shot blocked.
Corner swung in from Fernandez. Header clear from the goal scorer Thomas Souček, who did well under pressure. We'll see in a second as we tick to exactly an hour played whether or not Anthony Martial is able to continue. He's still on the field for now. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. Here's Maguire. Head up, surveying his options. Again, they're limited. There isn't much movement ahead of him. They go to the far left-hand side. Tellez to Rashford. Now to Fernandez, who's dropped deep in search of the ball. Goes to Pogba. Back to Maguire. Chested down on the far side. Neat ball clipped over to Marcus Rashford. Bowen is back to try and cover. West Ham, again, very diligently just covering every blade of grass and really pressing and pushing their opponents. Man United biding their time. Like an intriguing game of chess. Now they inject the pace. Rashford to Martial. Tries to find Fernandez but plays it off Declan Rice instead. Thomas Souček gets it clear. It's out for a throw for West Ham as well, and all that painful build-up from United leads to nothing.
Yeah, I think it's too tight where they're trying to play Manchester United. You've got 3 centre-halves there from West Ham, 2 sitting midfielders. You've got to get the ball out wide where you can make 2v1s.
Martial goes off and he looks in considerable duress as Juan Mata comes on. Matter of fine manners who discussed to come on at this stage. Could have left, but has agreed to sign a new contract. Could have gone and finished his career somewhere very lucrative out in the Middle East, the Far East, Major League Soccer maybe, but certainly would rather have a couple more years at Man U. Fair play to him, says a lot about the man. His first effort though will be a defensive one as he tracks back to try and put pressure on Artur Masuaku, who does play the ball to Cresswell this time. A little 1-2 between the two left footers. Here's Cresswell up against Mata, who's immediately tracking back alongside Aaron Wan-Bissaka. 2-on-1 as Cresswell juggles the ball back to Masuaku. Slightly miscontrolled by Fornals, but he gets away with it by playing it off McTominay and out for a West Ham throw. About 10 yards inside the Man United half, right in front of our vantage point here on Premier League Live. Do you see this staying 1-0 or not?
No, I feel like Manchester United are going to try and force his equaliser. But you never know. I think West Ham can keep it tight, stop them from getting ball through the middle, then we've got every chance of getting a result here.
Long ball over the top as Manchester United neatly work the ball clear. All 3 subs used, so any more knocks now and they'd be down to 10 men. Greenwood controlled it well on the far side, found Pogba. He crosses it to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the young right back.
That's where West Ham look very comfortable there when it's all very slow for Manchester United. They're moving the ball really slow, and West Ham are prepared. They're outnumbered, the Manchester United attackers, and it looked comfortable for West Ham. It's going to be in transition on the counter-attack. They've got to be careful.
West Ham hoping to make it a run of only 1 defeat in 8 in the league at home. They've now opened the scoring in their last 6 home league games, though. Very impressive. One thing I would say is that with West Ham, Davy Moyes has only won 2 of 20 Premier League games, Gabby, against teams from the so-called Big Six, the established Big Six. 2 out of 20 isn't great, but if 3 out of 21 was against Man United, how sweet would that be?
Yeah, I think he'll be over the moon by the performance so far, but you'll know there's a lot more football to play in this game. But if he could get the result, he'll be over the moon, because I said it at the start of the show that he does. When you get sacked from a club, you want to do your most to see that club not do well, and you want them to lose against your team for sure.
Moyes' record, by the way, in that ill-fated few months at Man United: won 17, drawn 6, lost 11. And as soon as 34 games into that 2013-14 season, it was mathematically impossible for Man United to make the Champions League. The ownership fired him. Here come United through Bruno Fernandes to Pogba. Great effort and a wonderful goal. Paul Pogba bends it into the corner. He cups his ears to the fans scattered around the London Stadium. Fabianski maybe could have kept it out. He got a glove to it, but it doesn't detract from a curling effort from Pogba. It's his 2nd of the season. You can't keep him down. West Ham 1, Manchester United 1.
It's a great ball from Henderson to start it off, and Fernandes has got the perfect weight on the ball here for Pogba. Yeah, that's a very tough shot to stop from the keeper.
Just wondered, as it was kind of at the right height, if maybe he could have, but I agree, looking from behind the goal, that angle really shows it was well placed, wasn't it?
Yeah, if you look at the replay, maybe you can argue he might have been able to get a touch on it, but you can't take it away from the finish. It's a great goal from Paul Pogba, and it's been quite a poor performance from him, but a great finish there.
It was bent around the defender as well, wasn't it, which made it all the harder to try and stop.
I think VAR might be checking if the ball went out of play.
Oh, so basically, the build-up to this was Dean Henderson scurrying to keep the ball in play, which he did. He then boots it downfield. Does it bend out
of play
before it comes back in when Fernandes picks it up? Well, Cresswell is the guy who stops, and I think he thinks it's gone out because he pauses. There you go, he pauses on the TV.
I think it has gone out of play here, but I didn't know VAR would check for something like that.
Well, it's gone to VAR. It's gone to the video assistant referee. Nothing wrong with the goal. Fernandes infield. Pogba's curling effort into the net. It was that clearance downfield from Henderson. Nothing wrong with it. It's all he could do because he was right, wasn't he, on the touchline as he kicked it.
I think he's given the goal.
The goal does stand. Well, Cresswell certainly stopped as if it had gone out of play. And it had a fair degree of bend on it and only landed, a yard or two in play.
I think because it's so high in the air, the ball, it's hard to tell if it actually was out of play.
So there's no computer that can effectively tell you for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe that's it.
I think it would have been very harsh to give that goal, take it off of Manchester United, because it's just a wonderful strike from Paul Pogba.
So you know that awful 3D offside line they use, the armpit or wherever? You'd need one that was about, 50 feet high, wouldn't you, to see if that had gone out of play or not. I think West Ham might be unlucky. My gut reaction is that did go out of play, but I think Gabby's spot on there that there's no way that VAR can effectively say for sure that the on-field decision was wrong, and therefore it's not overturned. Man U may have got away with one, but we'll credit Fernandes for his tenacity in hunting that one down, for Henderson to have got there and cleared it in the first place, and for Paul Pogba to bend it in. Here's Juan Mata as far as Greenwood. Was he upended on the edge of the penalty area? He thought so. Well, Fabianski missed kicks as well. And Fernandes came tearing in on the goalkeeper, who just about atoned for his error and hastily shanks it out of play for a throw. Major jitters all of a sudden, and this game turns on a knife edge.
But Fernandes has done more in 15 minutes than any Manchester United player has done all game. He's pressing here. Fabianski thinks he's got time, but Fernandes is the one pressing. He's got the assist for the goal.
Can they get a second? Here they can! Mason Greenwood with a wonderful turn past Ogbonna and into the corner of the net. He has struggled for form and confidence in recent times as young Mason Greenwood, but a timely reminder of the prodigious talent this young man is. Greenwood's third of the season, and 2 goals in the blink of an eye turn this one around. West Ham 1, Manchester United 2.
It's a great ball whipped into Greenwood here, and I don't think anyone else on the pitch would have scored this goal. It's a great touch from him and a great finish, which we know Greenwood can do.
Tellez's ball, as you say, it's well behind Mason Greenwood. One flick with his left foot effectively takes it over and round Ogbonna, and then literally on the half volley, touch 2, bang, bang, bottom corner of the net.
I don't think you realise how much of a good goal that is. It's a great touch, and that is Mason Greenwood. He strikes through the ball as hard as he can, and once again it's hard for Fabianski to save that, but a great goal for Manchester United, and they just seem like they have to be 1-0 down now, or before they start getting into the game and coming back.
They've been sticking largely with Mason Greenwood on and off, not always starting, but still heavily involved in the collective despite this recent barren run. And that is every indication why that was well worthwhile. And Gabby, I'll ask you from here, is that the goal that we see Greenwood then kick on from and really get back to where he was last season?
Yeah, I hope so, because we all know that he's got that in his locker, and we just want to see more of it because he's an outstanding footballer.
Ball over the top as far as Rashford, who's onside. Rashford, edge of the penalty area, curling effort, got that one wrong in the end, and just perhaps tried to do too much from the situation he found himself in. You certainly can't say that, though, about the goal. And we're going to have another look from a different angle of the replay as to whether Henderson's clearance was out of play.
It did look like it, didn't it?
Well, David Moyes is clapping West Ham for pressing and getting the throw, and he's trotting over to basically try and claim the ball. Then he realises that the whistle hasn't gone and play's gone on, and Moyes is absolutely furious on the touchline.
Yeah, I think it looked out to me, but it's like you said, it's hard for them to be able to tell.
Categorically.
Yeah, to rule it out, you know, so maybe West Ham are hard done by there, but still it's a great goal from Paul Pogba.
Those beady, bulging, angry eyes we saw a lot from Moyes during his time at Man United, they were back in a flash there, weren't they?
Well, I think this is the time now where you want to see Ben Rama come on, go for it, even Lanzini. You've got nothing to lose now.
Lanzini, superb player, the Argentinian, but arguably never quite the same after a significant cruciate knee ligament injury on international duty with Argentina. Loose ball from a West Ham free kick, hooked half clear by Man United. McTominay tries to complete the process as far as Rashford. Bowen wins it back. He's shoved in the back by Fernandes, but play goes on. Souček tries to turn. McTominay wins it back again. Then he's upended by Bonner, who says he did nothing wrong. And have a bit of sympathy for the Italian there. But in the end, Man United get the free kick. And McTominay, actually, second half particularly, has played quite well, I think.
I think it looks like these Manchester United players, they need Fernandes to perform themselves. It's like if he plays,
and Rashford possibly as well.
They play better themselves. And I mean, West Ham maybe should be kicking themselves. The chances that they missed in the first half to maybe go 2-0 or 3-0 up and win the game in the first half. Once it was always 1-0, there was always a chance that Manchester United would get better because they couldn't get any worse than their performance in the first half.
Ben Rama is trending on Twitter at the moment, so there's a hint about who perhaps should be coming onto the field at some stage. We shall wait and see. Through ball, here's Marcus Rashford through one-on-one to put the game to bed. Oh, he hits the upright and it stays out. The same post that Fornals hit in the first half. You'd have put your house on Marcus Rashford to see that one home one-on-one. Lovely through ball from Bruno Fernandes. The two subs combined, woodwork hit, and we stay at 2-1.
That is what Bruno Fernandes is all about. I mean, that first touch, and then he just knows where Rashford wants the ball in front of him, and Rashford normally scores 9 out of 10 of them. Unlucky for Manchester United, but great play. Just
scuffed the shot. The replay showed it didn't quite come cleanly off the boots, did it?
Yeah, but they're the sort of players you want to play with. We saw earlier with Kevin De Bruyne's pass for Sterling. These strikers can just make these runs because they know these midfielders have got the talent and the vision to see them.
Yeah, Rashford has certainly improved in his goal scoring in recent times. It's probably the one part of his armoury that was lacking early on in his career to the very highest of standards, and largely he's been working on that very, very effectively. Missed that one though. 72 gone, West Ham 1, Manchester United 2. Bulbasaurus Rex is listening as he cruises through the Carolina country hills on his way to go camping. So keep up the good commentary, lads. Very nice part of the world, Bulbasaurus Rex. Steve Bond is listening from Ibadan in Nigeria, saying, may the best United win. Many Manchester United fans are so used to this story now, which I think he means is just the roller coaster of the game. And my goodness, have we seen that? And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's meant, by hook or by crook, hard work of it, but possibly just about getting the result. Can they do that? Nice 1-2 between the two left-sided players, Masuaku and Cresswell. Masuaku with the ball in, looking for Sebastian Haller. But there were two Man United players as well there. One of them was Harry Maguire, who took ownership of the situation and smacked the ball to safety. West Ham, though, win it back from a fairly languid United throw. Here's Fornals from Masuaku's delivery. Over the top, chested down by Kufal. Ball takes a ricochet. Pogba reacts first and heads it to the edge of the United area. Rashford bursting clear. Beautiful turn to take Souček, the goal scorer early in the match, out of the game. Still Rashford goes, beats two players, couldn't beat a third. And Declan Rice had to get that tackle spot on, and he nicked just a little bit of the ball and did very, very well. But Rashford is down, and the referee has blown his whistle because there's a possible head injury.
Yeah, it was a great tackle from Declan Rice, but I think Rashford, when he's fell, he's banged his head up one of the defenders' knees, I think. So, because it's a head injury, you have to stop playing now. Frightening run from Rashford, though.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's absolutely superb. Kufal's busting a gut to get back and hasn't got a prayer. Rice, who's not renowned as a particularly quick player, did well actually, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he done very well. But you look here now in the replay that we got, he gets the ball, Rice, but Rashford's head smacks into the boot of Bonner.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. So it's not just Rashford colliding with the turf. He ends up heading very much inadvertently Angelo Bonner's boot with just kind of the left edge of his temple, and Rashford is in a little bit of pain. And a lot's been said, hasn't it, about concussion in the Premier League. David Luiz, of course, playing on after that sickening clash of heads with Raul Jimenez, who we hope we will be seeing back sooner rather than later. And I'm not saying this is anything like that, but just that awareness of concussion is very important, Gabby.
Yeah, we talked about the concussion and maybe bringing in a doctor that works at the grounds and takes it out of manager's choice to bring off the player. But what would happen now with Manchester United already having 3 subs if Rashford had to come off?
Is the concussion sub an extra rolling one like it is in rugby that counts separately?
Yeah, that's what it would have to be, wouldn't it? Because Manchester United would be down to 10 men now, which wouldn't be fair on them.
2 substitutions for West Ham, and they are Manuel Lanzini coming on for Jared Bowen, who played well but maybe just waned a little in recent minutes, and the other, Pablo Fornals, is off, and your mate is on. You've called for it for the last 60 odd minutes. Here is Said Benrahma.
Yeah, he's the player you want to see. He's got so much class, and I feel like he's the one that can get West Ham back into this game.
Will he do so? The Algerian, of course, signed from Brentford but back on loan for now before it becomes permanent. No impact from the 2 subs so far, 75 minutes in, because Man U win it back through Paul Pogba, and who scored the equaliser. Oh, Juan Mata just slightly miscontrols that one. Declan Rice, well cut out by Lindelof. As far as Fernandes, just starting to see 1 or 2 Man United players just read each other's mistakes and dig them out of trouble, and a bit more cohesion and togetherness in here as well. Fernandes to Greenwood. Lovely run from Greenwood and just wide. As the young striker looks for his second of the game, he kept going. And again, shimmied his way through to the edge of the box and fired just wide of the right-hand post. More good football.
Just amazing the difference that one player can make in Fernandes. Little touches, little 1-2s, and Greenwood here. Maybe if he looks back, he maybe could have squared it for Fernandes, but more great play from Fernandes and Greenwood.
Just slightly off balancing on his weaker foot, wasn't he, by the end, Mason Greenwood? I think you're right, but ultimately, good football and a good opportunity, no question. Man United have won a league-high 12 points from losing positions this season. Is that going to become 15, I wonder? Remember, on that club record of 8 straight-away league wins, could it now be 9? They've been behind in all 4 of their away league wins this season. Will that be 5 as Rashford's put clear through again? You don't miss twice when you're Marcus Rashford, and that one-on-one, he chips beautifully over the advancing Fabianski and into the net. You can hear a pin drop now at the West Ham's ground, and West Ham surely are out of this one. Great goal from Rashford, and it's game over. You'd have thought West Ham 1, Man United 3.
You have to always see the replay before you celebrate now with the goals. I'm having a look at here. Yeah, he's onside. I thought he was offside, the way he was in so much space, but a great finish from Rashford. I mean, Fernandes was there waiting, wasn't he, for a tap-in, but that's what you want to see from Manchester United. I mean, the difference that Fernandes and Rashford have made, it's been phenomenal.
Lovely interchange of passing, and yet Rashford just impudently dinks that one over the advancing Fabianski, and having scuffed that other one onto the post. Talk about normal service resumed.
Yeah, it's a great goal, isn't it, from Rashford? And we're talking about Mata when he was coming on. I mean, he's done more than what Martial done for 70 minutes, and it's a great ball that from Mata, and strikers, wingers like Greenwood and Rashford can make them runs when you've got Fernandes and Mata pulling you through. You don't even have to look, just make the run and they'll find you.
Importance of your bench, and as much as we talked about the potential, weakness of the starting lineup, to have Mata, Rashford and Fernandes all to come on and all to make such an impact, Gabby, bodes well, doesn't it, for what United have got lying ahead?
Yeah, but the only thing that would be frustrating for Solskjaer is the team that he started with was more than enough to get a result here, and he's had to bring on his big guns in Rashford and Fernandes. And does that mean that Fernandes and Rashford can't be rested again because Manchester United can't perform without them?
It's a really good point. It's like whenever Spurs think about not playing Kane and Son, isn't it?
Exactly. You can't do it nowadays. You have to play your best team. The same with Man City and De Bruyne. De Bruyne has to start, because without these influential players, the team doesn't tick.
It's a really, really good point, and the fact that a star-studded and expensive team just couldn't function without them, I agree, is a massive, massive concern.
I'm sure Solskjaer will mention that after the game, how frustrating it is to not be able to rely on Van der Beek and Pogba from the start.
And particularly together, where it was really shown up. It wasn't like they had one of Rashford or particularly Fernandes to help. Bereft of both, there was a ginormous void. Now, Sebastian Haller is a little unhappy about something, and so is Creswell, who's just thrown the ball down in anger. A little tiny bit of needle there. Cresswell's gone to get another ball now. He's been told to just calm down by the referee. Scouser, of course, so he likes to get stuck in. Sign from Ipswich Town, and it's been an excellent player largely, that injury aside. Cresswell bends it in, good delivery. Oh, so close to a second for West Ham there. Souček was up there, just took the ball, if anything, away from Ogbonna before it was picked up on this near side by the replacement side, Benrahma. Oh, and a little indication of what Benrahma can bring to the table there with a shot of peroxide blonde hair. Nice skills and not far away.
It's a great effort, isn't it, from Benrahma? He's looking for a pass. Ogbonna helps here by making a run in behind, and then another day that goes into the far corner. Great play from Benrahma.
Yeah, beat Lindelof, cut inside Wan-Bissaka. And I'd say it was about 3 inches over the crossbar and ended up landing on the roof of the net. That lob from Said Benrahma. Very nice indeed. We've ticked to 80 minutes. Premier League Live, West Ham 1, Manchester United 3. And you said, Gabby, you were pretty sure that United were going to come back and get something out of this game. But has this comeback, this volley of goals, surprised even you?
Yeah, West Ham look quite comfortable even after 10 minutes of the first half. But you look at the way the goals have gone in, and it's just clash, really. I mean, you've got players of Fernandes, Greenwood, Rashford. That's what they should be doing week in, week out for Manchester United.
Arteta out has tweeted in saying, what's going on? By my understanding, VAR isn't supposed to get involved with balls going out of play. It's not part of the remit. How much more of the game will computers take away from us? But to be fair, what a strike from Pogba. And that is a good point, actually. What exactly should VAR be making decisions on? It's not a blanket remit at all, is it?
No, and I feel like even the ball going out shouldn't be something that VAR get involved with. You've got linesmen there that are capable.
Another opportunity for United to get a fourth. Greenwood surging forward, but he'd effectively reacted so quickly and surged forward with such gusto that he left all his support behind him. And sometimes if you're that quick thinking and that pacey, everyone else is about 8 yards behind you, Gabby.
Yeah, 100%.
Did you ever have that feeling?
No, not me.
Scored a lot of goals though, mate, to be fair, so he must have been doing something right.
Every team needs pace, don't they? You look at this West Ham team, they're missing Antonio. Haller's done well today, but they missed that threat, that counter-attack pace in behind, and Manchester United have got it in abundance.
Cresswell right-footed to Haller. That's what you do see from Haller. Flicked on, looking for Said Benrahma once more. Manuel Lanzini up there trying to win it back, can't do so. Good interception from Cresswell once more, though, to get there just ahead of Juan Mata. Chris Chadello tweeting back saying, remember, boys, that at 1-0, I said 3-1 United. Chris, you did. Fair play to you. Could it be 3-2, though? United give it away. Benrahma tries to find Haller, who I think was fouled in the process. Indeed he was. Just had his leg taken away from under him by Harry Maguire. West Ham have got a free kick about 30 yards out. Gabby in a fairly central position.
Yeah, they just need to keep going, West Ham. They've been quite poor the last 20-30 minutes, but they just need to get the balls into the box now. Try and get a cross in here for Haller and try and get another goal, because anything's possible. They've done it against Spurs early on in the season, come from behind, 2 late goals, so I'm sure David Moyes will be hoping for the same.
DJ Keefe is listening from Miami and has sent us another beautiful picture of a blue sky with the odd wispy cloud. Very pleasant indeed. Stark contrast to a freezing cold East London, DJ Keefe, but great to have you listening to us from Florida. And Koji Kwanzaa also saying he predicted 3-1 pre-match. Could well be that. Free kick from distance is a fantastic one, and it's just poked behind by Dean Henderson for a corner. Best save that Henderson has made. It was from Aaron Cresswell, and he will scurry across to take the corner as well. Good play from Cresswell.
Great free kick, but a great save from Henderson. I think he's gone to his right, and then he's had to go to his left afterwards, but great save, and now giving them a load of confidence.
Excellent work from Dean Henderson. We're going to see one more West Ham substitution. Off goes Vladimir Kufal as Cresswell bends in the corner looking for Haller. Would have scored if it had got to him. Shot from distance from Lanzini is saved on the half volley from Henderson. And as it was, Harry Maguire got there and just stopped Haller, powering home a header to maybe make it 3-2. Ball over the top at the other end as Man United go for the jugular themselves, but Rashford won't get there, and that one trickles out of play for a West Ham goal kick.
Yeah, that was unlucky, but I really liked the way Fernandes, he wants to get Rashford in behind. When I was at my playing days, I loved midfielders who would always look to put in that ball in behind, because you knew you could just make the run every time and it would come, and 9 times out of 10 Fernandes is going to find the right quality pass to put the likes of Rashford and Greenwood through.
West Ham 1, Man United 3, and we've got just over 5 minutes to go. New man on, by the way, is Ben Johnson, the youngster who was in the starting 11 earlier in the season and has just dropped back to the bench of late. West Ham, I don't know what they can quite do from here to really now change this game. I think this one may have now passed them by.
Yeah, it'd be very tough for them to get back into the game now. 5 minutes left and Manchester United looking so dangerous on the counter-attack.
85.5 gone as Man United prepare to take a throw on the far side from Tellez. Remember, 1-0 down, good chunk of the way into the second half, and then Pogba's controversial goal that maybe went out of play but was allowed to stand via VAR. And then 2 well-taken goals in quick succession. Greenwood and Rashford, young English strikers, both burying the ball home. That's the difference between the teams. Forgot to ask you, Gabby, what you make of this kind of zebra-like Man U away kit, by the I'm not a fan, I've got to say.
I'm not a fan of all. It reminds me of the one that they wore in I think it was the late 90s. That I think they wore it was a grey one, wasn't it? And it was very unlucky for them at that time, but
yeah, I remember they lost it. Was it Southampton?
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yes.
But I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah.
But if it's getting them results away from home, then I'm sure they'll keep wearing it.
Probably should be seen at a safari park rather than in the middle of a football pitch, but what can you do? Anyway, McTominay is dispossessed by Allaire, who's had to come so deep to get hold of the ball. He's practically on halfway. Souček, whose goal feels like an eternity ago now, that opened the scoring, finds Cresswell. Deflected effort from distance from Declan Rice. Wasn't easy again for Dean Henderson, who had to realign his footing as the ball took that nick, but Henderson makes the save.
You always fancied Declan Rice, though, to hit the target from here. He's got a great strike of the ball, and I think the deflection there sort of helped the keeper.
Erik ten Hag has pointed out that you said when Martial got injured it could be a good thing for Man United, and he's like, you're absolutely spot on, because as soon as he went off, look what's happened, goal, goal, goal. I do wonder.
I think sometimes when you get an injury like that, it gives another chance to another player, and that player's won't matter, and he's come on and taken his chance.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see whether or not Mata gets a bit more game time moving forward from here, with all of those games thick and fast in those 3 different competitions. By the way, since Fernandes' Premier League debut, United have managed a league high 2.09 points per game average, which is excellent actually, isn't it? And Fernandes also was hoping to become the first player to score in 6 straight away league appearances for United since Dennis Law in 1964, and he's done all but score since he's come on. That's one hell of a stat if he could have pulled that one off, and he still could.
Yeah, it's a great stat, but he's a great player, and he's going to be such an asset for Manchester United, and he might be the difference between them getting into the top 4. And it's funny though, because if Manchester United lost this game, it'd be like Solskjaer's out. They've won it, and they're going to be into the top 4. So it's funny how football could just change.
Dividing lines, absolutely. Now, Said Benrahma's convinced he should have a free kick on the edge of the box. Fans are baying for it as well. Referee was well placed, and he decided that contact was sufficiently minimal for play to go on. And Bonner chests it on halfway and wins it back. West Ham finishing strongly. Trouble is, with 90 seconds plus time added on to go, they're 2 goals down. By the way, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer head-to-head has drawn 1 and lost 1 against David Moyes. So will this be his first win as the current United boss against the old one? We shall have to wait and see. So Man United, a couple of minutes away from going 4th in the table till tomorrow at least. The new man Johnson wins a free kick on the far side, rather needlessly brought down by Marcus Rashford. It's one of the first things Rashford's really done wrong, apart from, I guess, scuffing that one chance he had before he scored.
But you want to see this from him, like he's tracking back, he wants to work back for the team, and it's a credit to Rashford because they're 3-1 down. Another sort of player, maybe Martial, wouldn't be tracking back, so it's good to see from Rashford.
Next up, by the way, for West Ham is a trip to Leeds this coming Friday. Cresswell bends it in, looking for Souček, who had to crane his neck as he looked for his second of the game and was always going to struggle to guide his header on target. Manchester United got it clear pretty easily in the end, but all of Man United's players have stayed inside the box, hence West Ham were able to pick it up and pump it back in. It was easily dealt with once more by Dean Henderson. So yeah, Leeds away on Friday, your favourite team, Gabby, then followed by Palace at home, Chelsea away, Brighton at home, Southampton away. That's the rest of their games up until the end of the calendar year. So not a lot of travelling, Leeds aside, a couple of home games and a couple of shortish trips to the other away matches over the festive period. Be interesting to see where West Ham are in this congested table in 5 games' time. It could almost go either way.
Yeah, I think West Ham will be fine, and they've got it in them to go away to Leeds and get a result. I just feel that they need to probably try and play the likes of Ben Rama from the start now.
So Man United, 1 down in this, winning 3-1, 2 down at Southampton in their last Premier League game, winning that 3-2. They are, once again, turning around a seemingly desperate cause. Next up for them, don't forget, Gabs, next Saturday in this slot, 5:30 UK, Manchester derby against City. That's going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, it'll be a great game. Looking forward to that one. See what sort of formation Pep plays and what sort of team that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plays. I'm sure it won't be an attacking one like it's been today. I'm sure it'll be a game that Fred starts with McTominay.
Sheffield United away, Leeds at home, Leicester away and Wolves at home. That's the rest of their Premier League games between now and the end of the year. Not the easiest run, plenty of teams inside the top half and with aspirations of even more.
I don't think any games easy in the Premier League. They're all tough, so I don't think it really matters on your running. Every game's going to be tough.
5 additional minutes, by the way. We're into the second of them, and it's Man U back on the attack. Good play from Mata, who's still surging forward, finds Greenwood as the West Ham defence stands off once more. Fabian Balbuena stands up well against Greenwood on this occasion. The South American then hoofs the ball downfield, only as far as another South American in the form of Tellez. He was fouled by Aller. The two exchange a good sportsmanship high five, though. And the referee is happy enough for play to go on and for advantage to be played. And Man U 2 up, 3 minutes of added time to go. Are just barely at a canter now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're looking to see the game out now. It was similar to the game earlier with Manchester City. Players having a few passes with each other, but look at Rashford here on the attack.
Yeah, Rashford has gone wide, looking for a second in the final couple of minutes of this one. Bonner is the man on him, and he's happy to just go back again as far as Mason Greenwood. Fabara Godswill has tweeted in from Port Harcourt in Nigeria, enjoying your commentary. Kudos to you guys. Well, Fabara, pleased to brighten up your evening there in Africa. And Mukar Eliasu, listening from Ghana through City FM, says what a great comeback goal from Paul Pogba. Get in, Manchester United. So he is a very happy man. I can tell you that Barry Swain and Paul Parker have just got into the house at Stamford Bridge, and they are settling in and preparing themselves for Chelsea against Leeds, which is the next commentary game after ours. In about 50 or 40 minutes time it kicks off, and we're over to the boys for their full build-up in about 10 minutes. Ball over the top as United look for their second chance for another goal for Greenwood on the half volley, and this time Mason Greenwood just scuffs it and can't control it goalward.
Yeah, he's offside. We're looking at a replay, but I mean, look at that for a ball from Fernandes. I mean, as a striker in his team, you must be absolutely buzzing when he's on the pitch. You can make any run you want and he's going to find you. Unbelievable.
Just looking at the lineups on my computer for that Chelsea-Leeds game. Olivier Giroud starts up front for Chelsea in the league. Of course, he's been scoring, as we know, hand over fist of late. 4 goals in Europe. I think Giroud's earned that start, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm scoring them goals 100%, but I don't think Abraham will be very happy because he's done well when he's been playing as well, Abraham.
Yeah, he has. Tammy Abraham is on the bench. The returning Christian Pulisic for our American listeners. Good news there. Again, Azpilicueta and Kovacic can only make the bench. And Jorginho. Havertz is in there. James, Hakim Ziyech. Mount just pulling those strings. Werner. It's a strong-looking Chelsea lineup. And for Leeds United, Rafinha, Harrison, Phillips is back. Click Alioski, who we heard from at half-time. Bamford, of course, up against his old team, who never really gave him a shot for all of those years. They kept loaning him away. Interested to see what Bamford can do back at the Bridge tonight as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that game because Chelsea have got an attacking team out, and we know what Leeds do, they attack, so hopefully there's a lot of goals.
That is after us. We'll focus back on the final few seconds of ours into the final minute of time added on. West Ham 1, Manchester United 3. And was looking set for maybe another win under David Moyes when Thomas Souček gave them the lead. But they've come back with a controversial strike from Pogba. Well-taken goals from Mason Greenwood that effectively won it before Marcus Rashford off the bench, set up by the outstanding Bruno Fernandes, made sure of all 3 points. And it's only going to Solskjaer's men who go fourth. It's 4 straight wins in the Premier League for them. And after 280 days of waiting, West Ham have 2,000 fans back in the stadium, but they see their team ultimately lose by 3 goals to 1. 1-on-1! Opening goal is scored by Jared Bowen, but it will not stand. Right-footed cross into beauty! Oh, what a chance! And Fornals has stuck it into the side netting. Superb from Bowen. Allaire to Fornals. Oh, it's off the post! And it ricochets into the gloves of Dean Henderson. Cresswell's delivery, and the ball is poked in for the opening goal, and it's Thomas Souček who gets it. Once again, the Man United defence at 6s and 7s. West Ham want it more. Moyes' boys take the lead. Allaire is through 1-on-1. He rounds Henderson. He has to round Maguire. He slips. Oh no! It's a comedy of errors. It should have been 2-0. Bruno Fernandes to Pogba. Great effort and a wonderful goal. Paul Pogba bends it into the corner. He cups his ears to the fans scattered around the London Stadium. Fabianski maybe could have kept it out. He got a glove to it, but it doesn't detract from a curling effort from Pogba. They get a second here. They can! Mason Greenwood with a wonderful turn past Ogbonna and into the corner of the net. 2 goals in the blink of an eye. Turn this one around. Rashford's put clear through again. You don't miss twice when you're Marcus Rashford. And that 1-on-1, he chips beautifully over the advancing Fabianski and into the net. It's game over. You'd have thought West Ham 1, Man United 3. Excellent work from the boys behind the glass there, and that pretty much sums it up. 3-1 the final score, Gabby, and we can't stress enough that change of personnel. 2 half-time subs, another injury-enforced one not that long into the second, and Mata, Rashford and Fernandes, what a difference they made.
Yeah, it's a massive difference, and Manchester United were probably the poorest I've seen them this season in the first half, and this has just showed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that he can't afford to rest both of them, Rashford and Fernandes, at the same time. If he's going to rest them, he has to rest them one by one, because this Manchester United team have shown they can't perform without one of them in the team.
They've got that job done as they march on now to that huge Champions League game against Leipzig on Tuesday, and then on to the Manchester derby. I'd be very, very surprised if we don't see some of those A-listers starting both of those games. But as you said, Gabby, you can't keep that up game in, game out, double intensity twice a week and keep playing all your best players.
No, it's hard because Solskjaer had a plan today to rest his 2 big stars, Rashford and Fernandes, for the Leipzig game, but his players that he started have let him down, and now he's looking like Rashford and Fernandes are going to be playing every game for Manchester United because the players like Van der Beek have shown that they've not been good enough.
And where do West Ham go from here? It's a setback, isn't it? But I don't think there's an awful lot wrong, really, is there, when you look at their broadly good form and the fact that they still gave a good account largely in this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be one bit worried for West Ham. You look at the table, they're 7th to 17 points, and it's been one of their better starts this season. And I look at that West Ham team, I've been asking for Ben Rama to come into the side, and hopefully he does in the next game against Leeds, because there's going to be a game where Leeds throw a lot of players forward and they can use him on the counter-attack. So West Ham will be fine, and David Moyes doing a great job there.
Final tweet from Drew, who says, I've got Bruno in my fantasy league team and he is simply vital for Manchester United. That's Drew from Adanta in Ghana. Thank you very much indeed. So Gabby, quick look at the table as we wrap things up. And Manchester United, they really are climbing it. They're up to 4th. And of course they've got a game in hand of one or two of the others as well. West Ham stay 7th. Thank you very much indeed for your efforts as ever, mate. It's always nice to work with you.
And you, mate, and you. See you soon.
Top care, top man. Stay safe. That is the brilliant Gabby Ogbonlahor, former Aston Villa An England striker alongside me, Russell Hargreaves, here on Premier League Live, where West Ham led, but ultimately were undone with a great comeback from Manchester United, who take it by 3-1. Up next, it's Barry Swain and Paul Parker. He'll be happy about Man United winning as they prepare for Leeds' trip to Chelsea. It's a grudge match, and it's next on Premier League Live.
What will you really gain from using anabolic steroids? Using illegal anabolic steroids can lead to nasty and serious side effects, both physical and psychological. Heart failure, infertility, hair loss, acne, mood swings, increased aggression. Don't lose out to steroid gains. Know the risks. Visit zerogains.ie. A message from the Health Products Regulatory Authority.
100% new, still 100% Caddy. The 5th generation all-new Caddy Cargo is more innovative, dynamic and efficient than ever before. With €1,500 purchase contribution plus a Caddy Cargo service plan for €9.99. Contact your local Volkswagen commercial vehicles dealer or visit volkswagenvans.ie to reserve yours now. T's and C's apply.
There's certain matchday sounds we are all missing. But there are others we don't have to. Is Carlsberg Pilsner the best beer to enjoy while watching the match at home? Probably. Carlsberg Pilsner, probably the best beer in the world. Enjoy Carlsberg sensibly. Visit drinkaware.ie.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home.